Well, hey, church. One of our distinctives that we have loved to see develop is the missional community aspect of our church. A missional community is a small group of people who are learning to live out their gospel identity by loving one another like family, growing free from sin and in selfless obedience to Christ, and sent and empowered by the Spirit to share and show the gospel to those that are far from Him in all of life. In simple terms, we are a family of worshipers adopted and sent. So the question is, why do we promote missional communities? The beauty that we see with a missional community is that while it cares well for the people within, it also sees its purpose as going. A traditional small group usually is centered around a Bible study, which is a very good thing. But it's easy for that group to be content with simply doing study after study. We've all been involved in small groups that go through a study and then will just end. We'll start back up at a later time with mostly new people and repeat the process. Relationships develop and lives are encouraged, but most small groups are inwardly focused and haven't ever been challenged to make a difference in the city together for the sake of the gospel. We see a missional community as taking the next step. As Jesus says in Matthew 28:19, go. As our groups grow into healthy missional communities, they'll begin to find a common way to love the city of San Angelo. Each group is looking for a simple entry point for those that are far from God to begin to experience Christians living out the gospel with one another. There's a quote that says, "The greatest cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge Jesus with their lips, but deny Him with their lifestyle." Wouldn't it be amazing to see missional communities both proclaiming from their lips and professing with their lifestyle the good news of Jesus Christ? Do you remember back in Acts chapter 2 at the birth of the church that the believers were sharing their meals together, worshiping together in the temple? They were studying the teaching of the apostles and provided for each other's needs. Acts 2:47 still makes my heart long to see this happen in our church. Luke tells us that as they lived out the gospel, the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. This is the model that missional communities are based on. As we care for one another, as we worship our God and study His Word, and as we work together to engage those that are far from God, we'll see the Lord add to His church day by day. We have a rare gift as the church to see a majority of our people involved in missional communities. At the same time, that means that they're very full, and that can become a deterrent to other families joining in. So, with that in mind, I have two asks. The first one is that if you aren't plugged into an MC, go ahead and pack on in with the rest of us. We'll bear together over the next few months to love and to grow together. But the other ask is that you would pray for our missional communities to be able to multiply. Ask that the Lord would raise up some leaders that we can train to launch out new missional communities so that we can continue to invite in new families to join in with this beautiful community of believers that we call the Vessel Church. May the Lord be glorified as we live as a family of worshipers, adopted and sent. I love you guys. Have a great week.